Hi, Vara here at the Houston Comicpalooza with the VCR show, and we are here talking to comic book creator Daniel Johnson. How are you doing, sir?
Doing good, doing good. How y'all doing?
Good, good. So tell us a little bit about the comic, if you don't mind.
So basically, St. God's Warrior is a story about a man. He get his powers from God after losing his mother. The story is basically based out of New Orleans. Basically, it talks about someone, who lost somebody important, and basically he was chosen by God. God basically chose him and said, okay, look, you're called to protect the city. That's what I called you to do. So when he lost somebody important in his life, he basically found strength, and that gave him strength, to know what he was supposed to do in life. So like I said, basically it's like a coming of age story. The first book talks about the origin story, but also we have the second book which talk about basically the struggle of the character and how he's kind of intimidated by the power. And then we have the third book coming out next month, which is in August, which is going to basically conclude the entire series.
So let me ask you this. Where exactly did you get the inspiration for the storyline? Is this something personal or something you had kind of come up with one day?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. First and foremost, I'm a Christian. I'm a man of God. Growing up in the church, it's based off Christian principles, and just in general, right? It's just a positive message, and a positive message, that I want to spread out to people. Also, I grew up on stuff like Power Rangers, which is big to me. Growing up, that was like one of my geekiest childhood things. Also, it's based off characters like Spawn. The way the suit revolves and form around his body. Also, you can look at Venom. Then, I also grew up in martial arts. My father, he's an 8-dan master, so I actually trained highly in self-defense. So I got that in there. So I just wanted to mix some different elements so you could think Mortal Kombat a little bit. I kind of got some knives with a little bit of everything. I kind of just wanted to come up with something different. Something, like I say, Christian elements, a positive message. Like I say, just a character, many people haven't really heard of.
And now let me ask you this, because you are probably one of the few African-American comic book creators out there. Have you found, like, when you're presenting your work, have you found, like, any pushback or resistance, like with mainstream comic corporations, seeing that you are an African-American creator and there are not a whole lot, actually, honestly, there are not a whole lot of you out there?
Yeah, I noticed that, that there's not a whole lot. Like I said, my thing is, and my goal, is just to one day, be one of the biggest out there. I know it takes a lot of work, and I know it's pretty tough in the comic book industry. Like I say, believe in God, that, one day this can sprout out. Because like I said, I am working on also a generation of heroes. Even after I finish this comic book, I have many other heroes coming. Working on a female character that, it talks about woman empowerment. Just different things, So, as being an African American, I'm honored, to even have these books out, and I hope one day, that I can touch somebody. At the end of the day, as being an African American, it is important, for my race, but at the end of the day, it's really, just to get a message out there. My message is I just want to give a positive message out to everybody, and let y'all know just in general, like even if your religion is different, right? Like there is something, that we all called to do in life. You may have lost somebody important in your life, but like I say, we all called to do something. We just have to find strength in it, and that's my whole message.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you two questions.
Gotcha.
All right. One, because we are at Comicpalooza, and you said something about enjoying the Power Rangers when you grew up.
Yeah.
Who was your favorite Power Ranger growing up?
Hands down, the Red Ranger, Jason. And I wound up meeting Jason at Lafayette Comic Con. Originally, I'm from Louisiana. Like I said, we came from New Orleans, so he came down to Lafayette Comic Con. I met up with him and I gave him a book, man. First and foremost, red is my favorite color, so I guess that just kind of was inspired from Power Rangers. So Jason was always my favorite Ranger. It was always a debate between Jason and Tommy when it comes to the people, but I like Tommy too. I got love for Tommy, but I was like, he ain't messing with Jason. Jason was always the lead. They made Tommy the lead only because Jason left the show.
Right. So next one, because you're saying your comic is based on, God has chosen him and given him this power. So, and you're saying you are Christian based and everything. What is your favorite scripture if you have one?
My favorite scripture, really, honestly, it would be I could do all things through Christ. That scripture right there, like I say, basically what he's called me to do, I feel like God, in general, kind of goes back to this book. That could be my testimony, and symbolically speaking, right? I feel like he's called me to do this work. For him, I can do all things. So, I'm just blessed and thankful, and I also want to give a thank you and shout out to my artist, Alexander Ray Watkins, and also my girlfriend right here. I want to give a shout out to her, Kiana Fontenot. Like I say, she's been a major help, and my brother up there, he's been a major help. So I'm just thankful to have people around me, who's able to help me, and just be there. I'm blessed.
And seeing that now, something has triggered in my head really quick because I asked you about being an African American and being in the industry. So let's put a double whammy on this. It has a religious story behind it. Has anyone been like, oh well, no, it's religious, so we can't touch that? Have you had anything like that kind of pop up at you?
To be honest, no, I haven't. Like I say, I think people are inspired and amazed just by, in general, just being different. Because like I say, you don't have a lot of that. The African American who does has a Christian story is like, wow. Okay, like that's amazing. Like you don't really see those two combinations together. Because every once in a while you may see a Christian story. You may see African American with a comic book. When you mix the two, you don't really see a lot of that. So a lot of people are really blessed by the fact that it's different. And I hear about that a lot. I hear a lot of fans that come by, even go by comic book shops, and they say a lot of people looking for indie comics because a lot of like Marvel and DC, people kind of tired of the same stuff. So just for me to be able to put a twist to something different, that's really my dream. I just want to be different.
And with Marvel and DC, it's the same explosion.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, with that being said, I have to ask, if you had any words of inspiration for others out there who, are thinking about creating a different story or indie comic, what kind of advice would you give them, and how difficult is it getting into this industry?
I would definitely tell them this. If that's your dream, first and foremost, stick by it. Don't care what people say, like they're going to have people that say, oh, well, you can't do it. If there's something that you want to do in life, you go for that and you don't give up till you get it. If you believe in something and you believe into it strongly, nobody's going to be able to stop you, and you're going to see growth from that. I would definitely tell you, if for writers out there or artists, if you want to do it, you have to start somewhere. How I started with this, it was a brainstorm for me. I thought about it. I would definitely say write it down. Any good ideas you get, write them down. And then things will just start popping into your head. That's how our brain works. The more you write down and the more you kind of put action into it, things will start popping up. Also, another tip I can give people, I took a lot of inspiration from my movies that I've watched. Like I said, I've grown up on a lot of cartoons. Like I said, I did later get into the comic books as I got a little older, but I was big on cartoons. Again, Batman versus Superman, Adventures of Batman Beyond, Static Shock, stuff like that. And then, like I told you, Power Rangers when I was a little younger. I took all that and just basically culminated. So I would say that for anybody who's a writer, just find what you can be inspired by. Don't give up on your dreams. Make sure you're brainstorming. And like I said, I can be honest with you, it's not going to be easy. This industry is not easy to get into. But the key word is consistency. If you're consistent and you believe in your product, trust me, you're going to see growth from it.
And the last question is, so if anyone wants to get a hold of your comic, how can they do that?
Absolutely. Y'all can go to risenvision.org. That's our website. Also, the books are available on barnesandnoble.com. Also, it is on Amazon. The KDP Kindle book is on Amazon, issue 1 and 2. And again, like I said, the third book is going to be released really, really soon. It's also going to be on KDP, on Amazon, and like I said, Barnes & Noble as well. So you can purchase the physical copies on Barnes & Noble or the website directly. And like I said, the digital books are on Amazon, Kindle Direct. And like I said, you can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and also Twitter at Risen Vision Comics.
And the name of this particular one is Saint, correct?
Yes, sir. St. God's Warrior.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. This is Richard Vara, the VCR Show. And thank you so much, Mr. Johnson, for your time.